Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about simulators. This is the best way to start FPV, by getting yourself a radio, as we talked about in our last video, and plugging it in and getting started with the simulators. So this is, my nose is itchy. Okay, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to turn on our controller. If you got this controller, I highly recommended it as the best beginner controller to just kind of start everything with. It's the Jumper T Lite, and there's links for it in the description. I'm going to plug this in and set it to joystick HD. You have to set it to USB joystick. Now, before you're able to do this, you're going to have to first set up the radio. So you can look in my playlist. I have a playlist for this radio, so you can go through, set it up. Once it's set up, you'll be able to click on USB joystick, and all this stuff is going to work, the switches and everything. And you're going to be able to play your first simulator. So I'm going to show you 3 of the most popular, talk about another one, and let you see firsthand what they're like, what I like about them, what I maybe don't like about them, give you a little bit of an overview, and then you can decide for yourself which simulator you want to start with, and hopefully that helps you. Please like the video if it does, or even if it doesn't, just to help me out. It really means a lot. So let's go to the computer. So we're going to start off here with Liftoff. The first thing that you're going to have to do is set up your controller. And then with each of these games, when you set up your controller, you might have to reset it up for each one. We're going to click start calibration. And now we do what it tells us to do. So you're going to have to move your joysticks just like this. Then what's it saying? Center the joysticks. Yes, okay. Push that one up. Okay. This one up. Center joysticks. That one to the side. Okay, so we're finished. We save, and now we are ready to rock and roll. Up, down, side, yaw, yaw. Roll, up, down. Very nice. And now that we're here, I'm just going to show you. So your left joystick will make your drone go, throttle goes up. So one thing that you have to remember when you're flying is that the throttle, there's no forward. You don't go forward by throttling. When you throttle, you go up because your propellers are pointed up. So if you want to be able to go forward, you have to pitch. So you see, with your left joystick here, you're going to be able to yaw back and forth, so that just turns you. So you just turn. It doesn't make you go, like it doesn't roll. When you want to go up or down, that's just going to be throttle. More throttle will make you go up. You drop your throttle, you'll go down. Then on the right hand, if you're ever stuck, like you're stuck sideways or something, it's always going to be this side that's going to be able to rebalance you. So whenever you're off balance, this is what's going to put you back in balance. So with the right joystick, you can totally roll all the way this way, or you can roll all the way this way, like all the way around. Here it's not letting you, but on the other side you'll be able to. And up and down the same way. So if you're ever not, like you're sideways, you just level yourself out on here. This is where you get yourself all back reorientated, and you're going to do it no matter what position you're in. You'll always be able to flip yourself back over this way or flip yourself over that way. It's just, you can always flip yourself back over with this. Okay, let's go and actually fly. So let's do freestyle, or let's just do quick play, quick setup, very nice, play. Okay, so you had to push the throttle down and go. So now what I was talking about before is, see, if you're like stuck doing something weird like this, with your right joystick, you just flip yourself back. You're going to find yourself kind of doing weird stuff like this, and you can just push up, down, and like just balance yourself out. But at the beginning, all you're going to do is slightly move your joysticks, control your throttle, use your throttle to figure out, oh, a throttle I go up, oh, no throttle I start going down. And kind of bounce the throttle a bit and get yourself, figure out what's going on, and then you just practice flying around, and slowly you'll get better and better, and you'll be able to have fun. But freestyling, you just go, you fly around, You explore. There's nothing really that you have to do. But you can, oh, if you go out of the designated flying zone, you have to go back. It takes you. When you're flying, anyone can fly up in the air. It's easy. You don't hit anything. But you're going to get better at flying by like practicing, kind of trying to fly through these little areas and not hit anything. When you're closer to the ground, it kind of looks better too in videos. But when you're starting, you might feel more comfortable kind of flying around here, just getting used to everything. Going up here and doing a flip because it's okay, you got enough time, you're not going to hit the ground. And then later when you get more confident, you'll be able to do flips nearer to the ground. Something interesting to just think about is on your right joystick, you can push any two directions. So watch, to the left, upside down, and then down, and then back up. Or to the right, and up. So any combination of the right joystick in half flips will put you back up. Even if you go down, down, or down, up, or left, up, or left, down. And you can kind of just do stuff like that. You have to get orientated and figure it out. But Liftoff is kind of cool for kind of looking almost kind of like realistic, live. There's buildings, there's trees and all this stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's the more to life one. And some people say that flying in it is more the way that gravity and everything is in real life. I've never been good at racing on Liftoff. I don't know why, I just feel like I float around and I find it really hard to kind of do this. And I started off with Liftoff and I tried doing this race thing and I just got frustrated and then I didn't really play that much. And now because I can actually fly, I think I can kind of do this, but I'm not doing it. How do I restart? Yeah. So I'm not doing it as well as I could. I'm still basically a beginner, but I used to just like here, I find that I'm sliding around and like not, it doesn't feel very like smooth for me. It feels like I'm floating around a lot and I don't have a lot of control. But yeah, see, it's like I just feel like I'm bouncing around and I'm just gliding everywhere. And as we go on to some of the others, I'll show you what I mean. But just trying to do this is pretty challenging. Let's try one more time. But yeah, I just feel like the drone feels kind of like it's just gliding more than it does. And it just, I don't feel like I got a lot of control in this game. Okay, we're in Velocidrone. They changed it. It looks different. Okay, let's see if it's gonna work. I might have to set up the controller again. Okay. Very good, so you set up your joysticks. And now you're good to go. Quick start. Looks like they revamped it. See, the Velocidrone was what I started with, and I like it. I like the way it feels more than Liftoff. It is a little bit more floaty, but it just, I don't know, it just feels smoother. To me, I find Liftoff to be the least smooth. Even though Velocidrone and DLR kind of feel more like video games, I don't know, maybe that's what I like about them. I like that it feels kind of like a video game. You know what I like about Velocidrone? It kind of reminds me of Batman. Like, I just feel like I'm in Gotham City or something. It has this kind of like Batman feel to it. And you can mess around with so many maps. There's so many different maps that other people have made. There's maps that you can have moving cars in. There's all sorts of different stuff that you can have in Velocidrone. You can mess with all your settings. You can mess with your rates. in all, but I'm going to show you something in DLR that you can do that will help you, that I think will be the best for figuring out what kind of rates you're going to be using. Yeah, go in the hole! Yay! But yeah, Velocidrone feels really kind of like, I don't know, nice and locked in. And you can build your own drones in all of them. There's a lot of customization, lots of stuff you can do. But I'd be able to do races in Velocidrone a lot better than in Liftoff. Like, you can just see how I can like go through the gates and kind of hit everything. Well, I just missed one. But yeah, we can like go through these things. See, it says go through here and then come through here, and it's actually all doable. So that's Velocidrone. I'm not giving it as much detail as Liftoff because I don't really use Velocidrone for races. I like it for just kind of exploring and being Batman, you know? It's like I'm Batman, I'm inside Gotham City, and it's sick. And it is like, it's fun to fly. It's fun to go through these cities where the buildings are and just like fly around and practice your flying. It's definitely pretty interesting. But you see, I have more control in here than I do on Liftoff. But I also find it kind of like I said, like it's like Batman. It's dark. It's not very positive. I feel kind of almost a negative vibe coming from Velocidrone. Okay, yay, we did Velocidrone. Let's go to DLR. DLR is my favorite. Okay, we are in DLR. DLR makes me so happy. It just feels like Mario Kart for adults. If you're ever going to be good at FPV, you have to have that feel, where eventually it's like you become part of the drone and there's this connection. And I'm still trying to get there, and I think that all the really good pilots are there. So what I love about DLR is you have this training thing. So you can go through, forget this, start behind the goggles and go through all the classes. It teaches you how to do all the things that you would do. So it's like you could just go freestyle and learn yourself, but going through this really helps you become a better flyer. And then you do these, and then you can do freestyle still. So you want to figure out what kind of rates you like flying at. Some people like high rates, some people like softer rates, but go to I like out of service. There's airplanes and stuff, or the bridge, but the bridge has but this has a lot of land. So we're gonna go here. You click freestyle. You start. What you're gonna be able to do is you're gonna be able to adjust different settings. So instead of messing around with the rates in a way that you're gonna have to like mess with each setting where it can be really sensitive and throw you off, later on you can tweak your rates. But for now, what I suggest doing is you go to any one of these places and you click on freestyle in any map, you hit escape, and now here you're going to do controller sensitivity. So first of all, same thing with the other games. I didn't show you the setup. It's the same thing. You go through, you set up your controller, and once you have it all set up, then you're going to go to controller sensitivity. And now here are the rates. First, fly with low rates. So you just click this. I'm not going to do it because it'll mess up my rates. So you do this and you fly with low rates. And it's just going to have a lower sensitivity. So when you move the joysticks around, it's not going to like do this as quickly. Right? It's going to do everything slower. It's nice to start off with very slow rates. And then afterwards, go to medium and fly around with medium. Then fly around with high. And once you've just been in an open map and you fly it around with low for a while, medium for a while, and high, and you go back and forth between them, you'll figure out which one you feel the most comfortable with. And you'll notice too that you might like freestyling with high rates, but then when you're racing, if your rates are too high, it makes you too sensitive and it's harder to readjust when you're racing. When you're racing, you're going to be going through these loops, and if your sensitivity is too high, you're going to throw yourself off a lot. But if you have a lower rate, then you're going to be able to kind of make readjustments a lot easier. So that's my suggestion to you, to figure out what rates you want. First, fly low, fly medium, fly high, and then you can start messing with these, and you can look up what other pilots like. You can look up videos about rates and learn how to do that kind of stuff, and then figure out what works for you. What I really like about this game is the racing. I'm a freestyle pilot. Like, I don't think I'm going to be really doing many races, but what I like about this is that there's so many maps that are really kind of like fun and interesting, and as you learn to do them, you become a better pilot. So by being a racer, you're going to be a better freestyler because you're going to be able to have better control over everything. So this was the map that I learned probably the most on. That, like, this is what got me really addicted. It's trying to kind of fly this map and getting better at it. It's difficult, especially when you're a beginner, but it's not so difficult that you just totally give up. And I'm gonna run you through this race just so that you can kind of get a feel and see what it's like. And then later, when you have goggles, when you have your VR goggles and you plug them in, you want to get goggles that have an HDMI port, because with an HDMI port, you're going to be able to go from your computer into your goggles with HDMI, and you're going to be able to kind of fly these in VR goggles, and it feels so much more what it feels like when you're actually flying a quad. And I get much better times on my races here with the VR goggles on, and each time you do these, it keeps track of your time. So if you get faster and faster, you can kind of like race against yourself and keep practicing and getting better at everything. And this is really kind of like difficult at first, but once you start getting the feel of it, it feels so good. Like, it's just like, oh, I hit the frame. But yeah, you get the hang. Yeah, I'm not getting the hang of it. You get the hang of it, and it feels so fun and smooth, and there's this sense of accomplishment that you get from playing this that is just really satisfying. You see all the fun colors and stuff. It reminds me kind of like Mario Kart meets Star Wars or something. It's just fun. There's a trail kind of you can follow. You see where you gotta go, and you just get better at it. And as you get better at it, you feel more confident. And after doing this enough, like the first time that you go and you fly a drone, you're gonna at least understand the way that everything moves. Because gravity in real life, I think that's the hardest thing to understand from all these games. Gravity in real life is totally different from all these games. You don't float as much. In these games, you end up floating a bit more, but it's nice and smooth, and you get the hang of it. It gives you the chance to understand what you're going to be doing when you have a drone, and you have time to get frustrated with this and smash and everything, and you don't have to worry about breaking anything. But as soon as you do this in real life, first of all, you need big space, because when you start flying, you realize how small all the space is because of how fast the quads travel. If you try to fly with whoops, you're just in a tiny space, and it's kind of crazy too. So I don't really like starting people on whoops, and I personally don't like whoops myself. I like to be able to start on a 3-inch. I think a 3-inch is the perfect place to start. You go to a big field, a big park, and just try it out. It's biased because I obviously like one more than the others, and talking to different people, you'll get all sorts of different ideas, and different people will like different things. So this is what works for me, and I hope you find what works for you. Congratulations on starting an FPV. You're gonna have so much fun. It is like, it is amazing. There can be a lot of pettiness, and there's a lot of oh, this is better, that is better, but in the end it comes down to what you like, and we're all just having fun trying to learn how to fly and be able to fly. So happy flying, and see you in the next one. Smash the like button now. Don't be lazy. Just push it.